Welcome into 12 News at 10. I'm Rachel Hackbar.
And I'm Michael Schwenke. Tonight, new reaction from the family of an Augusta man charged with attempted murder of his 70-year-old grandmother.
Gage Apple is now in jail, accused of stabbing his grandmother. Brandon Stitt talked with the father, who is also the son of that 70-year-old woman.
A frantic call Friday afternoon to Augusta Public Safety.
Getting a lot of screaming in the background, and someone's trying to kill his grandma.
Police say this man, 30-year-old Gage Apple, stabbed his 70-year-old grandmother.
Has an ice pick stuck in the skull.
Rhonda Schwind lives next door.
And she loves her grandkids. They come from a very large family.
Apple arrested a short time later about a mile from this home, where he lives with his grandmother. Grandma, now expected to be okay. Her son telling me she was released from the hospital to a rehab facility. That son also the father of Apple, saying Apple suffers from bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, adding that a recent medication change may have prompted Friday's stabbing.
I feel bad for both sides, you know. I mean, that's your grandson.
Friday's violent stabbing in this area of Butler County isn't the first for this small town. 13 years ago in Augusta, 69-year-old Lois Cody strangled the suspects, her then 18-year-old grandson and his girlfriend. In 2022, just west of Augusta in Andover, an 81-year-old woman strangled to death. The suspect, her 23-year-old grandson. And last September, 93-year-old Joanne Johnson was killed in her home in Augusta, a case remaining unsolved with a $10,000 reward being offered for tips that lead to an arrest. Until that arrest comes, it leaves Rhonda Schwind with an uneasy feeling.
And it puts you on edge because it's like, well, who is out there, who did it, what are they looking for, you know?
In Augusta, Brandon Stitt, 12.